Hey there, hope you're doing good. Let's continue refactoring Futurecam. Let's see if we can take a stab at this task. AV asset writer should be sized to match the first frame given to it. AV asset writer is a class that writes frames. It creates a video basically, it writes frames to a video file. Now, you create it and you keep calling append frame, and it has a fixed size. So in time-lapse mode, you can choose between 3 cameras, wide, tele and front. The key thing is that on older iPhones, the wide and tele cameras are 12 megapixel and the front is not. However, this class creates a file of a fixed dimension. These are constants. So which means it upscales photos from the front camera, which is a bad design. It reduces quality and consumes more CPU and takes more disk space and imposes more load at playback time on whichever device is playing it back. So let's fix this. First of all, this should have been a file private extension. I think the AV asset writer input. Oh, are we here? Yes. Width and height. Does the burst mode use a fast video writer? I don't think so. No. Burst mode does not inherit from abstract video mode. Abstract video mode is the one that uses a fast video writer. What writer does this use? Oh, it uses a burst recorder. Which uses a better writer, not a fast video writer. So we don't need to worry about burst mode, is the long and short of it. We need to store the rotation angle. Private let rotation angle. That's a double. What's it? CG float. The initializer does little now. It just stores the given information. If adapter equal to nil, create the adapter, create the asset writer, if the frames taken is 0, we are returning, and this will be nil, so it will crash here, but we are returning anyway, and that's it. So maybe I am being paranoid, but I would do this. Adapter is nil if and only if asset writer is nil. So if both are nil, this will work. If both are not nil, this will work. Partially initialized. So just in case this code changes in a way where one of the objects gets created and the other not, then this will catch. Maybe this is paranoia. It's not device dot, it's adapter dot. Oh, the whole purpose of this refactoring is this: width should be image dot width, height should be image dot height. So let's review the diffs. There's only one file. Instead of this hard-coded constant, we are taking an argument, and we have made it file private as it should have been. these two variables have become var and optional, but implicitly unwrapped optional. So every time we use it, we don't need to put an exclamation mark. And the initializer no longer does any work, it just stores stuff. I don't know if this will cause a problem with light rails. If it does, we can add a function called initialize, which takes some parameters, but it's fine for now. Anyway, the light rail doesn't capture at a high FPS, so we don't need to worry about dropped frames, hopefully. Okay, let's commit. Fix a bug where front time lapse can be upscaled from the front camera's resolution, which may be less than UHD. UHD is Ultra HD, which is 3840 by 2160 to a fixed resolution. And we are done with this. Okay, let's see what else we can do. Oh, there is some work in the frame producer. We were removing multi-time lapse functionality, which is a feature where you can capture a time lapse simultaneously with multiple cameras like wide, tele, ultra wide and front. We removed that feature because it was disabled anyway. However, the code can be simplified some more. So let's work on that. Here we are already using tele. I mean, we are switching to tele if we should. Yeah, it's odd to take a array of only one element. Is there something we can do about it? Yeah, we don't need to set the device here because as the user makes changes in the UI, even before we start capturing, we change the camera. That's the first thing. The second thing is we analyze the scene, and if you have digitally zoomed in with the wide camera, we switch to the tele camera for better quality if it helps. So that is taken care of here. So there is no reason to change the camera here. That's the first point. Second point is we don't need to do a recursive call. So here, I don't know what is specific about time-lapse mode either here. We don't need a closure. We can just use a reference to the function. We can also inline it. It's called in only one place. When you set this, you start getting video data. You don't need to have a separate start function. Can we use guard for this? Else this, if we are using, we must be using video, otherwise call take bracket if needed and return. Now we are using video, so you do this. Okay. So this code, when invoked with multiple devices, had a different functionality. Otherwise, yeah, God knows what it did. Never mind, it's complicated code. It would call itself recursively with one fewer device until it reached this point where it would do this. But we don't need recursive calls since it works with only one camera. So clean up frame producer. Multi-lapse code from frame producer. Excuse me. Okay, how else can we fix the frame producer? Is this always true or always false? No, in some cases it's false, in some cases it's true. This comment a reader might interpret as applying to this or to this. So I had a blank line. Okay, this is dead code. Why are we using this? Okay, we are not reading it anymore. Good for us. We are just initializing it but never reading it. I think it was used by analytics code, which is removed. Oops. No. Do we need this variable is using VDO? My guess is it's not needed after initialization. It's used only for verify statements. It's not worth it. And in any case, you can check that the video data output exists in the session, so you don't need this. You could make it a local variable within this, but you don't even need a local variable. And you don't need self. Camera.delegate dot capture type. If the capture type is not video, do this. Okay, let's see how many changes we have made. We have removed 3 local variables. Oh, 4. Remove 4 unused, not local variables, sorry, stored properties or instance variables, which other languages call them, or member variables as C++ calls them. Okay, how else can we clean this up? Okay, this is all the exposure calculation. Why is this red? Oh, yes, now it matches. Do we need this time recording? Yeah, this looks good. What's the change we have made? Fix syntax error. Okay, what can we do? Yeah, should we work on this? Yeah, so something I don't like here, which is this is here you are messing with the iOS memory management, which is not a good design. Should call it something else. So basically iOS uses the delegate which we are converting into a closure. Let me show you in the diff view, that will be easier to see. So you have this class which conforms to the iOS protocol for a delegate, and iOS invokes these functions. And it invokes a given callback. So it basically converts a delegate into a closure. And you have this extension that converts take bracket to, that basically does this conversion. But it's not worth it, it just causes more problems, including hacking with the iOS memory management by incrementing and decrementing retain counts, which is not a good design. This is a case where a class would be cleaner. So let's see what we can do there. Let's use the conventional technique of making this class itself adopt the delegate. So again you have this -1 code, buffer dot this one should be changed to, we'll just inline this on photo output dot capture photo. With settings, which are settings, and the delegate is self. So we have deleted this like adapter, and we have deleted the hacky memory management code. Actually, I think we are doing too much here. Let's do this step by step by reverting unnecessary changes. Let's first get rid of this and directly invoke this, because I'm not seeing much value that this is adding. Okay, never mind. No, I think it's a related bunch of changes. We'll do it and then we'll evaluate it. If it's not good, we can always change it. So here, this code has to be done here. Because this was being done in this take bracket, which was calling this, which was calling this. So this is something we have to take care of. Yeah, what is the delegate name? The protocol name, AB capture, whatever. In a way, this is symmetrical. If it is going to receive data from this delegate in video mode, it should also receive data from this delegate in photo mode. So we need to change this callback though, because here it was processed photo output. Now does this work? You have made it implement an additional delegate, and you have the delegate functions, and the code is copy pasted, which calls process photo output. Earlier you were calling take bracket, which was creating a low level delegate and calling capture photo, and it was setting this to true. So now you have to do that manually. And yeah, this junk is gone. Let's review the diffs one last time. Delegate, the two delegate functions, which is calling processed photo output. This has been inlined. These two functions have moved up, and yes. Manual, retain, increment and decrement, and delete low level delegate. This is taken care of. This is done. This is done. We are not doing it. Let's look at this. This is not clean code. Why on earth are we doing it? Oh, for play shutter sound. And where is play shutter sound called? Probably in the same place. Oh, it's called in multiple places. Okay, fine. For now, we won't do anything about it. Okay. I think we did look at low noise settings earlier and concluded we can't do anything about it, which is bad. Yeah, there is nothing here. frame producer is less than 300 lines of code, and leaving aside the helper extension, it's 224 lines. It's not bad. It's not too confusing anymore. So we don't need to split it any further. Earlier it was messy. Okay. Yeah, should we fix this or should we work on, yeah, let's take a stab at this. The capture type, var capture type, it asks the mode for the capture type. It returns video or BGRA. That's it. It can be a bool rather than a string, because a string you can't control. Are we even using this? Yeah, I think we're using this in UI code. No, actually we're not using it. We had raw, which we removed, so it's much cleaner. We'll do it step by step. There is no actual alternate form of, so there will be no index. So basically that code is same as this, because in both cases the code within the if doesn't run, which means you can remove the if. Control Shift G. Okay, let me learn that. Okay, capture type heek is gone. We don't need to map both of them as being equal. And when adding a segment, we don't need to check that the other form exists. Yes. Remove capture type heek. How are we doing on time? An hour? Oh, 40 minutes. Okay, not bad. Now, oh, so many of them. You can just make it a bool. Change manual controls. Oh, it's used only once, so we can inline it. I was going to rename it because I don't want the word capture type. It doesn't do anything with the capture type anyway. So let's look in this file first. Is capture type default never used? Default is video. Yeah, I don't see the need for this variable. Oh, this should be an implementation comment because it's about the default value. Keep the default value in sync. Actually, there's no selection in IB anymore since there's no UI element, so that also isn't needed. So you have inlined a function. Remove capture type default should be the commit message. Now my point is we can represent this as a boolean or an enum. We can't use enum because it's KVO. Okay, I'll tell you what, let's just do this. Let's just remove delegate.capture type. We should ask the mode, not the delegate. With that, the extension is gone. One more simplification. In the camera, we have the mode. Don't we have a mode object? Okay, never mind. Oh, we don't need the delegate anymore. Maybe we can remove the above accessor, but we'll do that later. Fewer the layers of indirection, better it is. Mode. This is funny. You're going to the camera, then you're going to the delegate, then you're asking the delegate for the capture type, which goes back to self. So don't round trip. Instead of asking the delegate, you're asking the mode. delegate extension is gone. This was a place for code to reside, which was unnecessary. Then in the frame producer, you do have a mode accessor, so we don't need to do camera.mode. So you're asking the mode, you have an accessor, you're asking the mode. Oh, wait, did I mess up anywhere? Capture type only you should ask the mode, other things you should still go to the delegate. I should have done a global find replace. The current mode type, you ask the delegate. Capture type, you ask the mode. This again you must ask the delegate only. You ask the mode. Oh, it's camera.mode. You don't have a mode object here. What was this? This is mode.capture type. What is this? Yeah, are we using delegate here? I think we are in a couple of places. Defer, you don't need to do camera.delegate. You have a delegate here. It's okay, you're calling it in a couple of places. Remove camera delegate dot capture type and the camera delegate extension to okay, this is done. Now let's see what we can do with the capture type itself. Does it need to be a string was the question. Session device is session running, lens position. Yeah, there's no capture type. Okay, so never mind. So we are not using KVO with capture type. Here, why do we even need a capture type? Oh my god, 42 results. So basically, capture type provides a level of indirection. You can be in a mode. A mode itself can be in a capture type, such as BGRA or VDO. And in the past, we had a debug UI where users could change. We removed the debug UI. And now it is hard coded. Each mode has only one capture type. So perhaps this whole notion of capture type can be removed. But that's a task for the next video, because this video has gone on long enough. So I'll see you in the next one.